Now, this isn't going to lead you to liberation, because this is the best bit about liberation. And this isn't something that I'm saying that's meant to add to your sense of disempowerment, because I also am aware that a lot of people in our society currently are feeling very disempowered. But this is so beautiful if it can be heard for what it is. There is no you that gets enlightened. You already are enlightened. It's just that you believe you're something that you're not. You believe that you're this person moving in time. But actually, who you are is this alive presence. And it's not the person that wakes up to the alive presence. It's that the person seems to, I don't know, it maybe has less investment in the seeking patterns, or something in the person breaks. Sometimes it can be through tragedy. Sometimes it can be through listening to all of this and having less seeking energy and less complications acting out. And then it just begins to break and the light is seen for what it is. So if we imagine clouds now, so there is the sunlight, and imagine there is this blue sky and there is this sunlight, and then there's clouds, so you can't see that there's sun there, but it's light, so there is the sunlight everywhere, but you can't see the sunlight. So say you've never seen where the light comes from, that it comes from the sun, this yellow ball in the sky, but yet there is light, but you didn't know it was this ball in the sky. And the clouds that are covering the sunlight, say they are the illusory you. And so you believe you're the clouds, and they're so dense and they're thick they never clear, but you believe you're the clouds. And then, so sometimes it's through tragedy, there is a break, or sometimes through just less seeking energy happens, there's less investment, and then it leaks through and there's a gap in the clouds and a sunbeam comes through, and then a bit more and a bit more, and then it begins to be seen that who you truly are is this sunlight, this beautiful sunlight. You are never the clouds, and it's not the clouds seeing it. It's just they begin to part. So the person never wakes up. So the person that's doing that investigation and understanding it's seeking energy and stuff, that's not the person that wakes up. It's just the sunlight reveals itself to us again. It's not hidden anymore. The sun reveals itself. So there's two things that I'm talking about, and don't get them muddled up. So I'm talking about the absolute, which is this sunlight that's here all the time. Who you are is this light, which is presence, which is this, you can call it perception of itself, this knowing of itself, that this is. And that's only ever present and only ever instantaneous, this empty experiencing of itself. And then in that there's this person that's claiming to be somebody. And sometimes the energy can be so strong that you believe that's who you are. And through believing that's who you are, you constantly seek to find that freedom that you remember. And you seek for that in time. And you get totally lost in time. And everything becomes so complicated. You can't understand why you're feeling all these different complicated feelings. So there's two things I'm suggesting. I'm suggesting the person understands itself better, which will create relaxation, which is ultimately good in the human level. Through understanding yourself better and education, then your life becomes less complicated and your life can be more peaceful. That's a beautiful thing. And then I'm also talking about this other part, this non-dual part, where you realize yourself to be something that's always been present and always been here. This free perception that's instantaneous. And don't get those two muddled up. We often believe that it's us waking up. You're not waking up because you never existed. You just seem to have existed. And I know that this can seem really confusing. And I'm sure that all of you listen to multiple teachers, and so it gets very confusing because one says this and one says that. But just in response to that, I just say that there is no truthful teaching, there is no truthful words. The only thing that is true is presence. Is that alive presence that knows itself, which is a sense of being, a sense of existence, and this empty looking. The sense of existence is love, and the empty looking is wisdom, beyond the human wisdom. Compassion. So don't get too caught up on trying to get all the words right or trying to work out who's right or who's wrong. It doesn't matter. And the person's like, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Should I be doing this? And what I would recommend, and the person's feeling really confused, is just a pattern in which it will play out in its job, which will play out in its relationship. And so when that person feels really confused, just see it for what it is and just follow it back into the bodily sensations. And just become aware, there's confusion appearing in the body, and that's creating my thoughts to want to try to find clarity. But you're never going to find clarity, because clarity isn't a word. Clarity is this. The freedom is this. So just be aware of what's going on. You know, the usual.